All right, folks, we're back on another installment here of our Harmonic Pattern podcast for Tuesday. Thank you. Let's get right to it. Jump on in. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Get your Harmonic Pattern Collection software for TradingView. Just start there. We have MetaTrader, eSignal, NinjaTrader, and Sierra Chart. And you can try them all. But I think TradingView, start with that. It's the easiest. And I will also tease you with a quick update. I think we're going to have this really soon. But send your information to hpc at sr-analyst.com. That's where to go. Get started. Everyone else, software subscribers, users, traders, you guys know the deal. Also, for new folks, check it out. Just go to harmonictrader.com. Okay, dive deep into all the free information, free membership. Just click, become a basic member. Start there, please. Please start there. That's where it all begins. Take the time. Take a week. Take 2 weeks. I can wait. Take a month. But dive in with the software. That's what we're getting into today. That's really the purpose of why we do these sessions. I'm here twice a week, Tuesday, Thursday, 12:30ish. So hit the like, subscribe, as they say. Honestly, I really don't care. I mean, if you want to get the subscription of when I go live, it's probably smart to do so. NASDAQ right now, down 30. I think the big story is Nvidia and the SOX index, and we just keep rocking. Look, Nvidia, I don't care. You could fat finger long this for the next 2 years. I don't care. I don't care if you buy at 186 and it goes to 100. It really doesn't matter. I mean, this thing is just going to keep going higher. 195 has been our target all along, but again, guys, there's nothing here in Nvidia that says, be concerned about anything. If anything, it looks like we're going to blow out these immediate short-term bearish resistance signals. Also, SOX index. What have I said about the SOX index? Just that it's going to lead tech. And we're going to smash the big monthly pattern. And it's there. I mean, it's all there. Let me get the index here for a second. Bang. 63.20. And if you guys remember, okay, we've been up against this 61.45 big hop level. We are supposed to smash that. Absolutely. Let's just, let's keep it going, because these are the markets that are leading us higher, and it's across the board. I got to emphasize, folks, it's not just crypto. And it's a great time to be alive. Seriously. These are amazing opportunities, generational opportunities. And what you're looking at with the SOX here is about to go on a new accelerated path higher. SOX leading the way. Okay. Great to see everybody. What's going on? Welcome back. Yeah, Thales, Justin, Cactus Leo, David, Mr. Ken. You haven't been around in a while. What's going on? Mr. Kennedy, Victoria, everybody else. Great to see everybody settle on in. Guys, we're 2 days away from October, and a whole lot of things kind of to be considering with a greater degree of immediacy, if you will. And looking at the SOX here, Thursday, and that's the first. Okay. No, tomorrow's the first. Sorry, what am I talking about? Yeah, only 30 days in September. I know that. So, incredible. We really, we get into today, into tomorrow, then it begins. And all of these markets are just absolutely ripping. The rest of them playing catch up, and again, I think that's probably The thing to stay with is stay with the winners. And the probably, at this point, after we had that massive move in the beginning of the month and a lot of these big mega tech, we're just looking for pullbacks against these. But the stocks, semiconductors, like I said, Nvidia here just continues to rage. And ever since this monthly HSI from October, excuse me, from April, that was just that was it to set it on a next cycle higher. And I don't see why this is not, you know, 1618 to 1902 minimums here. 1618's 195. 1902 top end on that zone is like 213, 215. And with a chart like this, with that kind of momentum, there's very little reason for that to stop. So that's the larger plan strategy. Nvidia as a 215 target is, why not? Why not by the end of the year? Why not by, give me till January? Not a problem. The other one that you guys know, Broadcom, now, 326. I've been just screaming about this one. This is probably a little further along than Nvidia. Look at this. There's your 1618, bang, 1902. So it already did that minimum move. Expansion, if you will, 360-ish, now 326. We'll get another opportunity. In fact, Broadcom coming back down, fill some gappage, give us some oversold levels. Maybe that's like 300. Okay, and the two takeaways are this. These are massive, historic, generational moves, exactly the way that we have been talking about it for a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And we will continue to get opportunities along the way as this thing stair steps higher. Broadcom market cap is 1.5 trillion. No reason why that can't be a $3 trillion creature. If Nvidia is going to be like 5 trillion, which it is going to be pretty soon, these other companies and market caps are going to follow. So stay with the winners, stay with the leaders, the ragers. Broadcom doing the same thing that Oracle did. Oracle just kind of a historic breakout move. Let it come back down. Here's another one. We had a daily shark at 218. Now, all I'm looking for is another oversold marker here on the daily. We're not there yet. And this could come down further, but we're in the territory. Okay? In that low end. So, a couple more days, next week. This is the next jump on point. Yeah. Huh. Oh no, we're not yet. I got the Starlink. Thanks for asking. I did get the Starlink set up and got the equipment set up. But I'm still having trying to get the equipment connected, but it's there. So luckily, no problems with Comcast. But Comcast is on its way out. After last week, that was the final straw for me. Especially with what's going to happen. Like guys, we can't be out a day. We're coming into October here. I can't be out for even an hour between now and the end of the year. It's going to be like that. So we're looking for these opportunities. If these are like the immediate blow off, like, hey, I'm going to have a historic breakout move because there's, new AI paradigm. We're on a new accelerated path. okay, which is going to mimic .com territory. All right, this is your path forward. And I got into that a little bit last week before I got cut off, but this is where we are in this phase. This is not a blow off move. This is more massive breakout continuation move. Let it do its thing. Okay. Let this monthly candle do its thing. That will create a big range going forward. This is Oracle, but you're going to want to be looking for pullbacks on this in the same way I talked about Broadcom, same way I've talked about Tesla. I'll get to that in a second. Same way we talk about Bitcoin, guys. Okay, these are all know anything about harmonic patterns. That's the first spot to look. I think there's going to be require a little bit more work if this is going to play out and give something bigger. But for now, 444 on Tesla, 445 has been the return target all along. We're up here overbought, but that hasn't signaled yet. So I'm monitoring it. And then there's other plays, things that are, catching up. Someone mentioned, no. Are you serious? Hold on for a second. If that's the case, then I'm done. If this is the case, guys, I'm done. Hold on. Bear with me, because if this is it, I'm done. Then I'm absolutely I'm just not going to play around because I'm just so I thought I had this fixed, recycled, at least enough to get the rest of it. Hold on. Okay, thanks. Guys, I don't know what's going on. You know what? I'm going to shut down my other computer, because I've got a whole bunch of programs, platforms running on that. Yeah, it's whatever. Let's continue. But Tesla, guys, that we're just in a pause here for 444. And I said this last week, we're still looking for a higher level, deeper test. Yeah, no doubt. But 488 to 536, that would give us a nice range. I think 500 by the end of the year is not crazy. But what are the things that haven't moved or at least going to do returns? Someone said SMCI earlier, and this has been something we've been looking at for a while where we've been kind of squeezed against this lower end target, this bat pattern at 40, now 47. We're looking for the return to 62. I wish I had a pattern down here, but I think this is good enough to, anticipate at least some kind of return trade. And you do have some weekly support. I mean, the bat support here, if this is really going to go, and we're not going to have a full type 2, which is a real shame. It got close. I mean, that would have been the ideal move, but sometimes it happens. You trigger off of that $40 point where you have weekly confirmation. I'm still looking for that to go higher to like 60-ish. So, a couple others that are doing that. The one that really worked out in that type of play was IONQ, guys. Remember this from 37, looking for it to go back, return to 40. It blasted to 72. This is, these when they're trending like that can give you, I think, a pretty clear ballpark area of the potential support to take shots. And same could be said for the other quantum stocks. I mean, quantum here, this one, Rigetti, few others. I mean, they've done monster things. I'm not saying to chase them up here, but this is more about what's happening to a lot of these type of plays. I mentioned this as well. You get that blast off. You get a really, I mean, ideal type one down here. IONQ. That was at $4 at the Shark. Took that first move from August all the way up from 4 to 50. And then honestly, are you really going to hold through that? Okay, really, you've got a pattern something a big winner like that, and you 10x in 6 months, 5 months. You I just never think that's sustainable. Okay, and maybe you don't catch that move, but we talked about this last week. Starting to look for opportunities like this. They do the first big thrust, hey, wake up move, come back. It's kind of like crypto. Give you HSI oversold, and then that's a continuation move. There's a few of these. There's a lot of these actually. Yeah. ASML. ASML was a lot like that. ASML had the big thrust move back in 24, came back. Remember, we were talking about ASML at 600, 650 ish. Now back 966. I can't recommend a long at that spot. There's other semis that we could. All right, but we're getting a lot of this. And I guess, just embrace it. It's part of the volatility, but it's also, a big trigger to the opportunity. A big sky, massive move, 23 to 24. That was like the big semi awakening for AI and all that off the 22 lows. Still managed to come all the way back down. And these kind of setup plays are, still within the long-term trend and giving phenomenal moves. The couple that I mentioned before, I think it was, I kind of figured this out. It was on semiconductor with this type 2 on the weekly. And we don't have any confirmation yet, but looking for this retest down here, 46. Give me some confirmation back into this zone. A lot of these are doing longer term turnarounds after a couple years of corrective, big retracement behaviors within a long-term trend. But if it's anything like what we've seen, it's a big opportunity. Really quick, let's look at AMD. I'm watching AMD right now at 169, 170. I think everyone's kind of wondering. I've got a few people asking me, will we get, when we have these type one action moves that they top out, this clearly looks like it's done for the type 1. Are we going to have a full return in AMD? I don't think so, because I'm looking at more these high-level daily HSI things, little confirmation retracement setup, just getting a whole bunch of these situations where what we've seen since August, just a pausing retracement. You would expect more September, October, and now we're faced with a whole bunch of these high-level daily HSI dots. Things that, we saw a month ago set up at the end of August, early September, explode. So focus for now on the daily. The other one was Amazon, which got beat up. recently, but here we are, another HSI oversold around 220, and then the AMZZ, the 2X, same kind of thing, oversold down here already, and about to, 2 days of positive action after today. Looked for that to resume. Yeah. What's up, Daniel? GFS taking off. That was another semi we were looking at last week. Well, it did explode. Just did a type 1, but I still think you come back for the 2. Yeah, actually, that was so crazy in August. It did the 1-2 all in like 2 days, but still support. There was the type 1 here, up, smack back down. 32.73 is the obvious level. But I'm thinking, guys, more like this: weekly, big bat, multi-year retracement. Is this a worthwhile turnaround play? With semiconductors doing what they're doing, I would think any semiconductor that's hasn't gone out of business yet, that has survived the 24 bear market, which it really was in a lot of instances. Something like this to get back to 51, 50, target 1 on a bat, maybe. And Intel's probably the best situation of that. I mean, that was looked like garbage, right? Intel was doing nothing while the market was raging. Intel just sat in this monthly shark zone at $20, and then finally gave us a double dot, retested, exploded. Target 1 is still $40. Okay, I'm watching this because could this be a mega turnaround for Intel? And I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, Intel's kind of lost it." And I think there's other possibilities that you go back and Intel is still on a long-term uptrend with the possibility of doing some, I think, much larger possibilities. Dare I say this might be a generational low at $20 or $19. Like you never go back. I'm really starting to think that with this kind of pattern, the trend, what the SOX is doing, if I'm right about the SOX being kind of like this new massive cycle, Intel could be one of those bigger recovery candidates that, shark to 5.0 at 40 is pretty easy, 45 or 50, and you're still only 33. Man, I just don't. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. Hold on one second. I'm really sorry. Yeah, I don't. I think I'm done. Anyway, let's keep it going. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. I'm gonna fix this the rest of it today. You guys keep me worried. Keep me worried. Keep me posted. Let me know. Anyway, so I'm looking for stuff like that. Okay, I'm looking for major turnaround candidates, recovery candidates, and then I'm looking for the major continuation candidates like Google, where what we've done so far with Google to get to the 1618 all time, and we have a dot and we have all of that. I really, that does not concern me. I personally think what Google is doing, this kind of a breakout, will eventually get you to extreme expansion levels. And so look at what's happened in the last, really this summer. I mean, Google, check it out, was 180, 260 with a massive breakout. Uh, Market cap is, yeah, almost 3 trillion. But we're going to do a pause. Look for 236, which is 2.25. I mean, I don't think we'll get that back down to the 382, but if you did, okay, that would probably be the max limit. And you're looking for Google, much like what we've talked about in Bitcoin and the rest of these, to realize an extreme conclusion to this cycle, meaning Bitcoin, okay, Oracle, Tesla, Amazon. I mean, they all do a 2618 to 3618 expansion. I don't know. I'm not. Hold on for a second. One more. Let's jump to Bitcoin because we're waiting to do that. We're waiting for Bitcoin to do the 1618 expansion. And here we go. Uh, Guys, what did we say? Thursday, 111, right? What happened? We got a daily HSI triggered over the weekend. We came in now. We're above the 50 level. This is all really good stuff. We need to get back to 118. What's the problem? We're just not mooning. Everybody wants it to moon. But at least we have something to jump on here with our last signal being a bullish daily HSI trigger. That gives us something to go off of and then start to monitor, say, 4-hour time frame. So 4-hour time frame, okay, back at 117. This is nothing too exciting. I mean, it's really not. And it's just a repeat of what we said on Thursday. I held this entire run or have I traded it consistently? There's a portion that I have held and will forever hold. And then there's some that I've traded. Like, we had that retracement back in April at 75. That was a trade. Also, getting out of some before that move down to 75. But this one, okay, is a full hold to get through this 111, 117, 118 zone. And this is how it's going to be until we resolve it going into October. 111, maybe 110-ish. But, I've been saying 111 for, since July? Audio's good. You got to check it. Thank you, guys. Keep me posted, and then I am so done on the rest of it. I don't even know what to say. Regardless, nothing yet to say, hey, everything's ready to explode, other than the fact that it's almost October. The monthly chart, guys, is like this, and probably good to look at just the monthly candle, okay? Because when we look at Bitcoin or make a larger assessment of Bitcoin, everybody's looking at the monthly candles. They're looking at monthly charts. And as pessimistic as everyone seems, what's going on here is another inside candle. I mean, unless something crazy happens in the next 24 hours, not even. No. Sorry, 6 hours, because that closes tonight. That's huge. Tomorrow, 1st of October. Then we just kind of break it down to these 3 monthly bars. And that I can't believe this. Hey guys, I'll tell you what. I think I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm gonna end it right here. Yeah. No, I think here's what's gonna happen. Okay, right now I'm gonna go fix the problem. And I mean I literally have everything on Starlink set up. I just need them to turn it on. So I'm gonna go find out why that's not turned on, and then we're gonna come back. You can hear me? All right, but I don't want to waste any more of your time. Here's what we do. Okay, so we'll do a surprise stream. Might be later today, could be tomorrow. Let me see if I can get this done right now, and then we'll come back. So hit subscribe, hit like. Okay, everybody else. I will take this discussion of Bitcoin because it's really not. I mean, nothing to be too crazy concerned about until we get some real resolution. But this is the scenario that we're looking for. Resolve the consolidation and then big moon candle up, just like last year. But I can't do this anymore under these conditions. Yeah, Bitcoin, of course Bitcoin's still bullish. I mean, again, guys, 111. 111, and I said it could be 108, 106, but number's 111. Looking for the target to go to 155. It is this kind of scenario. If that's 2 candles or 3 monthly candles, so be it. That's still what we're looking for. Rest of this market, you're just waiting for pullbacks because they're going to be few and far between. But when we get them, daily or 4 hour, that's what we're looking at. I'm going to, guys, just hit like and subscribe on the way out. We're gonna do this properly. I'm gonna go get this all set up, either later today or tomorrow. I'll be back. Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience, but I think this is gonna be the last time. So appreciate it. You have any other questions? Get over to me on the Discord, and we'll do some max giveaways on the next stream. Thanks, everybody.